Don't get involved. I will resolve it. I never fought on my own behalf. I've never done that in life. Right from primary school to you can ask any of my colleagues in the service. I've never fought on my own behalf because I believe that the Lord is always there for me. But all of us are created to love God. And you cannot love God if you do not speak for the oppressed. So right from my primary school, it was part of me. I inherited that from my family, from my dad and mom. And in my secondary school, I was like that. In my university, I was the PRO of my environmental association, University English and Literary Studies Student Society. I was their PRO and I was involved in their politics. And by the time I joined the service, I didn't even want to join the union. But the oppression was just too much. Because in the service, we had and we still have so many good superiors. But we have those Yorubas who call Kanda. Those that usually spoil everything. I wouldn't want to call my Ogas bad eggs, but those who believe that they are the beginning and the end of life, and that no other person must survive unless that person is sycophantic, and unless that person is ready to be oppressed, unless that person is ready to oppress others on behalf of that other. In quotes, because there cannot be right oppression, whether rightly or wrongly. And I felt bad.
Oppression.
Yes. So I opposed that, and I became a unionist. And later I became the PRO of the state, old Oyo State, new Oyo State. I became their. Later I became their chairman at the state level, Oyo State. Now we call it state president. And we're able to do some things for the union. If you go to Onireke, there's a Nogbe event center there.
Yeah.
Even if you go to our office in Challenge, the first building there was in the late 60s or early 70s. But I built a smaller one there, smaller hall there. We built with my colleagues. And when I was in local government, there was no local government I went that in cooperation and collaboration with the heads of department and the political leaders, that we didn't leave a project that could stand the test of time. And while I was posted to Lagelu, after I didn't even let I was posted to the state since 2003 at the Local Government Service Commission. I was there till 2012. And in 2012, when I was politically victimized and posted back to Lagelu, at that time, ask any staff of Lagelu local government, they were hold several months, over a year. Pensioners were owed. I spent less than 4 or 5 months there. I cleared all the areas. All. And I told the chairman, whatever comes in will be spent on workers and pensioners' salary. Because it's only a motivated staff that can deliver on the politician's mandates.
Exactly.
And it's only a happy staff that will make the service great. If workers are disillusioned, there's nothing you can achieve. And that's why the Yorubas will say, if it is the children they do not train, that they do not build in code, let me use the Yoruba English, that will sell the properties that were being built and amassed. And we had issues, but eventually they agreed. And those 3-4 months, I got them, they immediately posted me back. They removed me from the place. So essentially what I'm saying is, I passed through all those areas, and I've always encouraged people that whether you are a politician or a civil servant, whatever you find yourself, don't forget one thing. You are being paid through the taxpayers' fund. And taxpayers are the members of the public. And the members of the public are our principals. And they are there because God wants them to be there. And God will judge between you and them. And for you to be able to have some leeway, try as much as possible to encourage your principals, our principals and the political leaders, to do well for members of the public.
Now let's look at you growing up when you were still young, with the parents and your siblings. I know you said that your dad too was a unionist.
It was strict, it was on and blunt.
account. Okay.
His father then, his father then,
that from him.
Used to if we used to play ball on the veranda and we break bulbs. If my dad comes back then and oof, tell break him up with telephone globe, and you said, man, we don't know, all of you be punished, all of you. I'm beating, but it's all this sir, I wanted to kick a ball. We call him inside and want to.
Okay.
That look, I left his money because of the people. Not as I'm back. The money I should spend feeding you and training you should not be spent repairing things you damage. He will not beat you. But if you lie, my father was say, whatever you want to see, if you are sincere, there is no way you will be stammering when you are talking. Once you are sincere and honest, just tell us what you feel, what is in your mind on every particular issue. And if you are wrong, admit it and apologize.
Yeah. In essence, it's better you are truthful. You say what's on your mind.
That was his policy.
Yeah.
That was his policy.
Okay. So, like, what I'm trying to get at is, you have that quality in you, speaking for others, not wanting others who are to be oppressed. So, now when you were in school and you see some of your classmates being oppressed, being bullied, and you always rise up, probably to protect them, to speak for them, at that time, what will be on your mind? Is it that I want to be the savior, I want to win them to my side, as young children? Because when we were kids, we want to build caucuses, we want people to be on our side, I want to be the leader, that kind of a thing. What I'm trying to say is that, were you doing it because you really wanted all those young ones to be on your side, like you are building a sort of an hierarchy, that I'm the leader, you others follow me? What was really
that thought never came to my mind, and there was always could have come. Why? I was just too tiny. In my primary school, I was one of the youngest and tiny.
Okay.
My stature. In my secondary school, one of the youngest and tiny. In university, one of the youngest and tiny. When I joined the service, tiny. So there was no way I could have been
tiny but mighty.
I could have been a bully trying to bring people to my side. No. But I cannot recollect when it started. But I know one thing. I've always found cheating and oppression repulsive. Maybe because of the way we were brought up. I owe that to my parents. Really, my mother usually beats. I was never beaten by my dad. But my mother, she was Madam Thatcher. My mother, and what we were being told then was that the person who collaborated with somebody who oppressed others was equally an oppressor. That was what she was telling us. She was telling us that and my dad was equally like that. So I was not doing that. At times I would throw myself into the ring, knowing that I could not even defeat the person that I was fighting, and I would be thoroughly beaten. But one thing with me is that, regardless of the number of the punches, I will still hold on to you. And people say, don't kill this small boy now. Okay. I know another will come and ask for what went wrong. Then every person in the community, even person we did not know, that was older, was our fathers. They were our fathers. They were our mothers. There was something like Mr. Lagbaja. Everybody was banned. That was our orientation, the Yoruba orientation that I grew up to know in Ibadan. Let me start one case. In 1977, there was Ali Mosgo. I was in Ibadan Academy. There was this Ali Mosgo riot. And I didn't know why they came. I just joined them. They came to send us out. And we were tracking. But suddenly, somebody just held my hand strongly and pinched me. I look up, it was one of those elderly egbons, senior brothers in their group. We were not related. And the man was dragging me back. The group was going. We were singing with leaves, all of us. And after everybody had gone, the man took me to his people, beat me thoroughly, and took me home. And he was saying, I'll report you to your parents today. Hey, you want to kill yourself? But I even prostrated. That's why the fact that I was thoroughly beaten. I could not tell my parents, and I even begged him not to tell my parents. If it were to be now, the man would have he would have just felt as if he didn't see me.
Exactly.
He would have pretended that he didn't see me. What I'm trying to say was that As at that time, there was communalism.
Exactly.
You know, we were brought up, there was some, that's why people used to accuse us in that everybody is Bami. Because we would say Bami, Bami. You cannot say Taye's father. No! You will say Bami Taye, not Baba Taye. Bami Taye, that the father of myself and Taye, even though you are not related, but simply because that people say, what I'm saying in essence was that the way we were brought up was that we were brought up to respect everybody, but to resist oppression. And let me say this, by the time I joined the union, when I joined the service, I never wanted to join the union. It was not part of my plan. But 2 staff members, I was posted from Ifeloju then, Igbora, to Riole, that was in 1990. And 2 members of staff fought. I wasn't the director, I was nobody. I was just one of the officers in the admin department. And the HODs wanted to resolve that matter. Then the local government secretary, the local government career officer, so invited the HOD. And one of the mamas just said, one of the then director of finance said, come call BA. We know you will say the truth. They have called several people. I was invited, I got there. Said, what do you know about this? I said, ma, answers. If you want me to say anything, can you allow me to go and bring their files? And the grandmother said, why do you need their files? No, we don't need their files. Sir, I will use that to judge whatever I say is. And I went, brought their files. I was in the admin, the main registry, took their files in. And I said, how could somebody be collecting money, official money, and somebody will say she will be the person writing the receipt? Whoever collects should write.
You're right. Yeah.
And that I had the issue, our babas in the main office, because we had the large main office in Uri. I'd intervened, but the woman was rude. And I made a mistake. What I shouldn't have said, I said it. And I said, why is this woman this rude? They said it was because our girl is preventing her. I said that in the presence of anybody, everybody. And I showed them queries she had, even before I joined the service. I met her in the service because I was her senior, because she came in with modern school, but always well dressed. And I showed them and I said, they said, okay, what do you know? They said because our guy is preventing her, and that's why she's being rude to everybody. But Agana said, you are going to be punished for that. Have you ever found us together? Munisa asked, Mama, and you know I'm now. And you know I'm